know what this moment's like? In just a matter of seconds, you're going to hear your number or name being called.
Yes, and you're going to figure out, like,
pretty quickly where you are.
Where you're at and what you need to do, because when we talk about a confirmation round, the judges are going to confirm their bias as to who they believe is going to be the
I'm going to turn the mic over
champion.
once again to our head judge, Mr. Steve Weinberger.
Thank you, David.
Derek's legs are popping right
In
there.
numerical order, Derek, Brandon, Andrew, and Samson.
Just going with 4. They're going to move these guys around. You already know. And I'm curious to see, like, how these guys actually look after, I'd probably say, like, what, over an hour?
Yeah, it's been a little
Yeah,
break.
it's been a little bit.
Samson and Andrew switch.
Yeah, they're getting right to it. And that's what we want to see.
Gentlemen, front double bicep.
Yeah, Derek has not lost anything from last night.
But as you can see, Samson actually looks a lot tighter.
Yep.
They usually judge Samson by the leg quality, right? Like, so you're talking about from the hip on down to teardrop and outer sweep. See the striations in that? And here we go from the side. And this is where Derek shows off those glutes and hamstrings. He's got to sit on that. Yep, just like that.
Those striations in Derek's chest are such a step up.
Yes. And maybe that was due to the fact that maybe he was pulled a little too tight. And this new combination of fullness, I mean, we're able to see this in its back shot.
Yeah.
Derek Lunsford is shining through.
Back lat spread.
I'm hearing a lot of Derek Lunsford. Does that mean we're the table's tipping to that side?
You know, you want to say that because of the conditioning, especially from the rear. But you also got to look at Samson's quads from the back. I mean, they're, I don't want to say twice the size of Derek's, but they're pretty massive. This is a fight.
Yeah.
It is.
Dominoes and thighs.
Now, if you're Samson, you want to strike that quad right there because you have the advantage of the bigger muscle and striations in those quads. You got to show these judges what that is.
Yeah.
Like even in this most muscular pose, I had him winning that shot right there.
Yeah.
And see what he did? See what Samson's doing?
Still out there.
That's right.
Bought himself an extra 5 seconds.
That's right.
Sean, William, and James.
So what is this, 5? You think this is 5, 6, 7, 8?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity for Sean Clarita to actually get in that 5th spot.
Hakeem and Sean switch.
I don't know if anyone from that first group, such as like an Andrew Jack, would get bumped down. But we'll have to sit back and see.
Look at Akeem, second from right. Yeesh.
Front lat spread.
Those arms are serious, man.
Kid you not.
See, it's kind of strange to me with James. He's in such good shape, but you can't really see the separation in his abs in a lot of those front shots.
Yeah, he's washed out right there, but from the side, he looks great. Like, look at that side chest.
He's in such crazy shape. It's weird.
And again, we said this last night, you know, we're talking about, you know, digestion when it comes to eating all that food to make those muscles actually pop. That can blur out a lot of definition in your abs.
Back lat spread.
But even James in that back double bicep, I mean, the traps are actually striated too.
Who y'all leaning towards for that 5th spot between Akeem and William?
Well, you got to look at William Bonac in that back lat spread.
Yeah, I'd say I'm leaning towards Bonac.
He improved even from earlier tonight. Again, I always look at seeing how the legs are popping. See how William right there?
Muscular.
It's crazy how that wasn't there last night, but they are tonight. And even that crab most muscular with William. That's a good shot for him. You see the muscle quality in the chest. And
That's my favorite shot of his.
Yes.
William and Akeem switch.
All right, we got movement.
But this is where if you're
Front
William, you
double
got to stay
bicep.
on those quads like that. Like, you got to stay on those quads in these shots.
Front lat spread.
James is starting to spill
Side
just a
check.
little bit. You
Yes.
could tell that he was carving up pretty hard probably, and now, yeah, these confirmation rounds that, hey, I've been there, guys. I mean, it's you're under these hot ass lights as well. And then just the
double
pressure,
bicep.
and you're squeezing every fiber you have just to strike these poses. Yeah, look at William.
Yeah.
Glutes, hamstrings, calves, the outer sweep,
Back
even from
lat spread.
the back.
I do see here where Clarita is struggling with the size difference because your eyes are kind of drawn away from him and you just look at these other guys and kind of
Side
forget he's
tricep.
over there.
And that's why they do have different categories. But you know what? Props to Sean because he did slay some big giants tonight.
Abdominals and thighs.
And he deserves to be in this call out, you know?
Yeah.
If these guys didn't bring it tonight, I think he was a lock. We don't know. Maybe
Your
he does get
favorite
fit.
most muscular.
Williams getting harder. So is Akeem. I don't know what these guys did
Thank
during
you,
that last
gentlemen.
hour, man.
Back in line.
I'm like, did you guys steal my notebook?
Patrick.
What's going on?
Justin and Carlos.
It is interesting how Bonac looks so good in that crab, and some guys, it's just not a good pose for them at all to do it like that.
That's why there's, you know, you got hand clasp most muscular. You got the crab pose. You know, you got hands on hips like what Derek was doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Carlos and Patrick switch.
it's definitely something that you got to figure out which one is your best shot. For me, it was always like
Hand clasp.
I had all three. I wanted
did
you
all
guys.
three. I saw that.
I made sure they got served, like all three. You know,
Front double
but those
bicep.
are weapons. Like those are those shots. That's why I love having the most muscular pose be the last one. Is because what if someone else
Front
can't
lat
do the
spread.
pose that you can do? You know, you have a variation, so that's when you get to use it as your advantage.
Side chest.
I always liked your hands clasped the most. I always thought it showed off your width a little bit.
Back double bicep.
Yeah, for me, it was always like trying to hit that pose because of Kevin Levrone, you know, Flex Wheeler, those guys that, you know, they didn't have like the mass like a Ronnie Coleman had. And I, for damn sure, was never 300 pounds, so I always wanted to make sure I had that those round delts and arms. And
And the way your triceps looked in that variation of the most muscular, it just made them look really good.
Side tricep.
I appreciate it. But with these guys, you know, we're seeing lack of conditioning in the lower half, and then this just comes down to a little bit more diet. You know, even from the front, I mean, if you're looking at, I mean, good Lord, look at those quads on Carlos. But at the same time, you know, you can't lean on that as feeling like, oh, I'm
Your
ready.
favorite most
right.
muscular.
I always blame Dorian Yates and Rich Gaspari for the glute conversation. You know, that's during their era. Like, if you didn't have it, like, you're
Thank
gonna
you,
have a
gentlemen.
problem.
Back in line.
So for anyone out there, you want to win a show, you got to have those glutes and those hamstrings ripped.
Carlos looked a little upset there.
Well, you know, he should be, and that's okay.
Brandon and Andrew.
All right. We're breaking it down.
So we're going to get that top two.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So we're looking at 3 and 4 right here.
So I'm curious to see what Brandon Curry does right here because, you know, he has the most experience.
Front double bicep.
See how Brandon got in that pose quicker? That's a great shot for
Front
Andrew.
lat spread.
If I'm Andrew, I want to get in that shot a little faster. There you go.
Side chest.
And this is where I would like Andrew Jack to sit on those hams a little bit more. I mean, I get that he's so
Back
freaking
double
tall,
bicep.
but it wouldn't hurt him to do that.
Yeah.
Back lat spread.
think if Andrew ever dials in the glutes and hamstrings, he's going to be very dangerous. Just the width from the back. Once he starts really dialing that down, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
But right now, we've been saying that for quite some time. I mean, we're at the point now where it's now or never. You know, we got to see this. He needs to have a little bit lower lats as well, because when you're going against even Brandon Curry, I mean, it starts so low at the waist. This is a great shot for Andrew Jack.
Your favorite most muscular.
Do you feel like he's fading a little bit here, Andrew?
He is.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line.
And this comes with experience, you know, like when you have like an hour, you got to start going to these expediters saying, when are we going on? When are we going on?
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, and then there was 2. This is the one that we wanted to see, guys.
Yep.
How many rounds? 1 or 2 that they're going to do? I think 2, right?
I'm thinking 2.
All right. This angle is a little different. We were seeing them more head on. I kind of like this angle that they're going with. You can see the 3D. Like, look at the quads on Samson compared to Derek.
Double bicep.
It's funny, the 3 and 4 had the same color trunks. And these 2 have the same color trunks. Like they're trying to get apples to apples.
I'd give the front double to Samson.
Yeah. And you got to go from the ankles on up. I mean, like right here, this is a different Samson Dauda from that we saw last night.
Yes.
Now the side, we're going to see awesome detail from Derek Lunsford.
But just that fullness of Samson's chest is hard to beat.
It's very hard to beat. And what we're going to see right here in the back shots.
Back lat spread.
Man, Derek really nailed it. He looks.
Oh, yeah.
Side tricep.
And it's interesting because you can almost see them neck and neck with these shots. It's like, oh, well, you got the back shots. I might have the side shots. I might have the front shots.
Yeah.
And this is a shot here where I believe I go with Samson on just because of the sweep of the quads.
Have we ever had a tie?
Your favorite most muscular.
Not here.
Can I make a case for it in 2025?
There is no such thing. They're going to pose them down over and over again.
I prefer Samson's most muscular here, too.
Yeah.
Switch sides.
Switch sides, see?
We're calling it.
Don't go too far now, Samson. Like, you got to inch up a little bit. If I'm Samson, I'm moving that right leg a little bit over. But again,
Front lat spread.
you can see that Derek's kind of rushing into that shot right now. I don't know if that's fatigue. You start to see like his legs get a little, and we're nitpicking the hell out of this right now.
Yeah.
Back double bicep.
Usually when you rush into shots, it's because you're tired. I'm not going to lie. Like, you know, and during these back shots, this is where you got to get your air and reset.
Back lat spread.
And see what Samson just did?
Just
he switched
switch
legs.
those legs. I'm trying to tell you, real
It's
smooth.
movement. It's
That's
movement.
Right. That's right.
Look how big his legs from the rear. I almost need to see
And
another
he's
back.
performing too.
Yeah, he is.
He's
knows.
like he's doing a routine right
Bopping
here.
it.
That's a good shot for Samson right there. I just always end up staring at Samson's quads.
Yeah.
I stare at Samson's quads and Derek's glutes the whole time.
Yes.
Well, it looks like one of these two gentlemen will be walking home with $500,000 in the next 20, 30 minutes.
And I'd say at this point, it's kind of a coin toss.
Yeah.
See
That's
how
what I'm
Derek's-
saying, the tie.
It looks like Derek's legs are fading right there.
Derek, you guys got one more in you?
That's right. There you go.
Front double bicep.
If they run him through another one, I'm looking at Derek's quads right now. You're starting to see a little water coming out right there.
Do you think that's why they're doing another one?
Side chest.
You think they noticed that?
I think they did. Last night that helped Derek. Right now, I don't know if this is helping Derek right now.
Double bicep.
Samson's actually a lot more fired up. The width of his quads.
Side tricep.
Look at the energy right there. This is awesome, man. This is freaking bodybuilding,
Yeah,
guys.
you can
This
almost
is-
feel the hunger through the screen.
You can see the striations in his chest. We're talking about Samson right there. You see Derek breathing a little bit. Hit him most muscular, guys. Come on now.
Hit your favorite most muscular.
Let's go, Derek. Let's go, Samson. Show him what you got.
Crowd is going crazy.
Oh, that is popping. Oh, man. Samson Dauda with the killer crab shot. Woo.
I would not bet money on this one.
Not at all. Okay.
Man.
See, you're starting to come on my Tide Talk, aren't you?
Man, let's go. Pose it down. Let's go,
The crowd
Steve.
is on their feet. They are flexing the
Got the
crowd.
crowd.
Most muscles
Got
too.
the crowd hitting the most musculars.
Got a little mini pose
And
now.
you got to be pissed if you're these guys on the side, man.
Yeah.
You're like, man, what about me?
Andrew looks kind of pissed.
Andrew Jack looks like he's ready to walk.
And you know what?
DJ Columbus, you know what time it
Here
is.
we go.
Gentlemen, for the title, pose down.
Now, here's the thing. If you're Derek Lunsford, run over to Samson right now